This podcast contains paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, where I discuss how you can grow your business by the bootstraps. This applies to all entrepreneurs, from the person just starting up to the one that is already well established. My goal is to help you grow. I am your host, Isaiah O'Connor. So, welcome to Wednesday's Bootstrap Podcast. And in a follow-up to last Monday's podcast, trying to keep my day straight here, I'm going to be talking about something called the Flywheel and the Death Spiral concept. Now, what are these concepts and where do I get them? Well, we'll start off with the easy part. Where do I get them? I've gotten them from a book which I've referenced several times and is an amazing book. I highly, highly recommend it. It's called Good to Great by Jim Collins. If you're just happened across this podcast and you're not in business, or perhaps you're just thinking about being in business and you're not in business now, or perhaps you're in business but thinking about retiring. It doesn't matter. This book is not, the concepts in this book are, of course, very applicable to business. However, they're very applicable, easy for me to say, to everyday situations, teams, groups, church groups, school groups, etc. It's amazing. The concepts here are great just all around. I highly recommend the book. Matter of fact, this will be my little sponsorship spot. You can go check it out on Audible. You can get it for free. If you don't have Audible now, you can get one free book. This is a great book to get for free. I will link straight to the book in the description. If you use my link, it does help out the channel or the podcast. So I get YouTube and podcast mixed up sometimes, sorry. But you use it. It does help support us to keep making these podcasts. But it's an amazing book. You can get it for free on Audible. You keep it forever. It's a great service. After the first 30-day trial, it's $14.95 a month. You get one book a month. You get one book a month and two Audible originals. And actually, you get one book credit. Some books are more than one credit. Most books are only one credit. It's amazing. I've built up a huge library, 99 plus books, over 100 books now. Most of it business, some of it pleasure, some of it just good novels, some of it just lifestyle, Christian lifestyle books, whatever. But I've gotten through a lot. It's a great place to go. And it's a great way to build up your knowledge. Anyway, back to the point. Good to Great is an amazing, amazing business book. I will have to do a full book review on it later. By the way, sneak peek, I'm going to be hopefully starting to do one book review a month. And then I'm also going to be setting up a second podcast for the Balloon Business Book Club, which is a little Facebook group that I run currently, where I'm encouraging people in the balloon industry to look at the business end of being in balloons and promoting business books. So if you're interested in that, you can go look it up on Facebook and check it out. You don't have to be in the balloon industry. If you just want to be in the book club, just to be in the book club, cool. Matter of fact, if you want me to start a bootstrap podcast book club, perhaps I will. Just a thought. Let me know. Books are the best way to learn, my opinion. Anyway, well, not the best way. One of the best ways to learn. So anyway, on that little tangent, long week, sorry about that. In this book, he describes something called the death spiral and the flywheel. Let's start with the flywheel. It's a more fun way to start. What is a flywheel? Well, a flywheel is a big, heavy wheel that's mounted to a machine in order to maintain the speed of the machine and rhythm by itself once you get up to speed. So, for example, they can also be used to store energy, electricity, for example. But what it is as you turn the flywheel slowly, faster, it gets to the point where it's spinning so quickly, it just spins all by itself, completely under its own momentum for a very long time. And the most sophisticated ones use different combinations of materials suspended by magnetic bearings, so there's little to no friction at all, and usually in a vacuum chamber, so there's no air friction. Yeah, I'm getting a little nerdy here, but they can spin these things up to speed, and because there's no friction on the bearing wheels, there's no friction from the air. Once they get these guys up to speed, they're like a battery. They will spin for years and years and years and years and years, almost never slowing down. They will eventually slow down, but it takes a long time. Such a long time, they're being looked at as an alternative, non-chemical storage device for electricity, because you can reverse the process of spinning it up and take the energy used to get it up to speed. You can then use it to transfer energy back into the system and use it like a battery, and you can actually store electrical energy with a mechanical wheel. It's amazing. Sorry, got distracted. So a flywheel, though, is usually big and heavy, and the initial turns on the flywheel to get up to speed, the first turn takes a lot of energy. It's really, really hard to push. It's big, it's heavy, it doesn't want to move. The whole physics things. Something that is not in motion wants to stay that way, and once it's in motion, it doesn't want to stop. So, Newtonian physics, you spin it slowly, and you add one turn. The next turn is a little bit easier as it picks up a little momentum and then a little bit more momentum, and eventually, turn after turn after turn after turn after turn, it gets going so quickly, it just turns by itself, and you can relax. That's a flywheel. Now, what does it have to do with business? Well, that's how business works. As I was talking about on Monday's podcast, that you don't become an overnight success ever. You're noticed overnight, but you don't become an overnight success. It takes turning the flywheel. You have to build your business up on solid business principles. You find the solid principles, you build it up. You take your marketing plan and you build it up. You build it up. You work it every day. You put it in every day. The slow build up over time gets you going slowly. Matter of fact, financially, it's the same thing. If you can, my view on debt, you don't build up debt, and it doesn't take a lot. You save a little bit and a little bit. You save when you can. You throw a little bit more in savings, a little bit more in savings. Eventually have enough savings to start investing. And you invest a little bit. Eventually, your investments, as you slowly build them up. The more you put into the investments, the more they earn. And eventually, your investments can be earning faster than you can make money. That's the flywheel concept. It's a little bit over time. It's discipline over time. Same again and again. Getting up every morning. Doing whatever you need to do. That little bit of effort every single day to work on it. Same like working out. Same like losing weight. You get up and you do it every single day. You build up. If you're working out, you build up. If you're, for me, planting trees, here we go again. First day you do 100 trees, second day you do 200, and you build up to it. Your muscles get stronger, you get used to it, you have to build up to it. That's the flywheel. When it comes to business, you go out and you do your marketing plan every single day. Matter of fact, I know from personal experience, every time I've been able to put a daily effort in, when I've set goals for myself to call so many people a week, call so many clients a week, to push through to try to get things going, all these things that need to be done, I've been doing, building up as I go. And when I do that, my business starts doing a lot better. I start getting more clients. I start seeing more customers. And it takes the everyday effort, the slow increase over time. And each time it gets faster. Each time it gets better. The more customers you contact, the more business you get. The more business you get, the more people see your business. The more people see your business, the more they talk about it, the more they use it. And you keep pushing that flywheel, pushing that flywheel, pushing that flywheel. Eventually, you're not marketing nearly as much. You're not putting much effort into it because it's going. People are talking about you. You're doing it right. You're providing excellent customer service, an excellent product. You're providing huge value to your customers. And you do this over and over and over. And you will find that eventually it will take on a life of its own and just keep going and going and going. And you can relax a little bit. You've put so much effort in before, and now you start getting the payout. Now, the flip side of this, I'm also very familiar with, sadly enough, which is the death spiral. That's pushing against the spinning flywheel without actually taking any energy back. That's doing the full turn and then stopping and turning it back the other way. It's just slowly messing up and making things go bad and making bad decisions and getting up and hitting the snooze and sleeping through and not going every day, not attacking the day, just letting things slip and slow down. And business you'll see it really affect your business. Now, this concept is especially true if you are a content creator like myself. When I was doing this podcast, I took a few months off. I wound up taking longer than I originally planned off for the holidays, and dealing with family was hard to get in. And during that time, my listenership, my subscribers, and my downloads, the floor opened up and they dropped to the bottom. I lost subscribers, things died off. People don't want to listen to old content over and over and over. They need new content. And I let it go. My bad. I didn't do it. And my podcast started doing worse. Now, except for the exception of last week, I've been producing 3 days a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every week. And I'm seeing my numbers climb and climb and climb and climb. And I keep adding people week after week after week. And that's not to boast or brag. It's just the concept. When you push through and you do the every single day thing, and you do what you need to do, and you just keep at it, push, you start seeing results. And you go on YouTube, same deal. Some of the people that have the best results and the most viewership do it every day. They do it day after day. And I'll be going into some other things like pre-recording, automating, scheduling, all that good stuff. I'll be talking a little bit about that content creation a little bit later on. But the point is, when you're a content creator, blogger, podcaster, YouTuber, Instagram, to anything you do to be a content creator, The the flywheel and the death spiral are pretty quick to see what happens. You build up the flywheel, it takes a long time, and it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, some people cheat and buy followers, but they usually don't do so good anyway. And that goes on and on and on and on and on until you're big and you've got lots of people and you get sponsors and you can get a lot of viewership. Or you take a couple of days off and then a couple more, then a couple more, and then you might do something kind of once in a while, and then a couple more, and then well, I was going to, and I forgot, and all of a sudden you don't got anything. The social media accelerates the visibility of the process, but in your regular everyday business, bootstrapper, it's a hair salon, if you're a mechanic, if you're a florist, a balloon artist, you knit blankets for people, whatever it is you do, if you don't push on that flywheel, the opposite will happen. You will get a death spiral and things will go worse and worse and worse, and it'll be harder to push back against it and build it back up again. Know from personal experience. And if you want a successful business, you got to push every single day, every single day. So that's the brilliant concept of the flywheel and the death spiral. You know, perhaps I'm going to start talking about social media next podcast on Friday. Anyway, with that, you have a great day. Remember, reach out to me if y'all would like to have a book club where I review books and talk about books about the Bootstrap. Let me know. If you join my O'Connor Bootstrap podcast webpage, there's a link, or a Facebook group. There's a link. You can let me know. I would love to hear from you. You have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye bye. Okay, just as a reminder, we do offer a free 1/2 hour, no obligation consultation. All you need to do is go to our website and contact us through there, or you can contact me directly at my O'Connor Bootstrap podcast Facebook group or our Atheoz.com Facebook page as well. And if you would like to support this channel, the best thing you can do, of course, is to like and share and subscribe. That helps the most. Or you can check out one of our affiliate links. And of course, I do have a PayPal and a Patreon account, and the links will be in the description below. Thank you very much. You all have a good day. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast and Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. For other podcasts, past episodes, and related blogs, please check out our website at www.atheoz.com. That is www.atheoz.com or theoz.com. Until next time, I've been your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor.